Hey everybody, welcome back, and if you're new here, I would like to be the first to say, welcome to the Dorkness. My name is Stevie, and today we are going to be diving into our very first episode explaining the absolute basics of Nightingale. Nightingale is an open-world survival crafting game coming to early access later this month on February 20th. Now, I have been playing Nightingale in playtests for probably about 200 hours now, and was lucky enough to get access to the early access creator playtest. So let's talk about some of the things that I've learned and what could help you in your future in the Fey realms. So, very basic, we have our health on the left side here, and this green bar that rises up around that red orb is our hunger meter. And then on the right side we have our stamina orb. So this is affected by the things that we ate. So our max stamina is 68 because we consumed that food. Stamina you use in combat, you use while climbing, you use while running. So you constantly wanting to upgrade your gear, upgrade your tools, and consume foods that will give you a stamina increase, because that is something that you're going to be using a lot of. And then this little red bar around the stamina orb is our restfulness. So, oh, hello. What do we got going on over here? Oh, we've got a Carnute. Okay, as a quick side note, this guy is really cool. So this Carnute will wander around, knock down trees in his path. He also is a Fey, I believe a magical Fey type creature. So if you are, for example, hunting or killing a bunch of boar and wolves in the area, he will do this cool little move where he will shake his head and he will bring all of those creatures back to life. It's a really fun thing when you have a pile of boar corpses that you've been fighting off, and he comes in and just decides to grief you by resurrecting all of the mobs. So he's a really fun, interesting Fey creature that we can see across the realms. That's one of the things I really love about this game, just as an aside, is the Fey really do be messing with you at every opportunity. And I feel like that's lore accurate for what the lore of Fey is throughout history. Anyways, okay, back to what we were talking about. So we were talking about the restfulness. And you can see here, as I'm walking around, my rest is going down. So what we do is we basically just want to go find a bed. And I have one back over at that ping where my camp is. So let's head back over there and increase our rest. Being well rested means your stamina is going to increase. Not being well rested will eventually give you a debuff. So you definitely want to make sure you keep this restfulness bar full. And if you're out and about and you notice this restfulness going down, you're going to want to stop and build a bed. And one thing about the beds that you will run into is they are affected by the environment. So you want to make sure you build a bedroll in a safe place. Right now you can see we have a rain, so these beds have to be undercover, and you see that the little base camp here, they have tents up. If this bed is just like out in the wilderness with no shelter, you probably won't be able to use it. If you build a bed too close to aggroed enemies, you probably won't be able to use it. So keep in mind, you want to make sure you have safe resting conditions before you try to rest. So we're just gonna tap short rest a few times to fill up that bar. Now, if I hold, you'll see there's a long rest option. We can only do that at night. But if everyone on the server that you're playing with wants to skip through the night and skip ahead till morning, you can long rest. And typically, if you approach the bed after hours during the dark, long rest will be the primary option. So you could still do a short rest at night, but this will default to say long rest if it's like the optimum conditions. And then you can skip through the nighttime and just go straight to daylight, straight to morning. Okay, the next thing I want to talk about in our UI here in the HUD is the hope score. So the hope is essentially, your hopefulness can be equated to like mana in other games. I don't have any magic really quite yet on this character because this is a pretty early in the playthrough. Eventually you have spells that you can equip onto weapons, and those will use your stamina and also use your hope. So I like to just say, think of your hope as like your mana for this game. You gain more hope by unlocking hope echoes that you'll find throughout the realm, but then also you can see it's showing me my equipment score, my estate score, good deeds that I've done. So building around your estate cairn will increase your hope. Upgrading your gear, your equipment will increase your hope. I mean, if you play survival games, you're going to be building, you're going to be defeating enemies, you're going to be upgrading your gear. Your hope score should be something that you don't even have to think about. You should be increasing your hope just by naturally playing the game. The health and the stamina, you might need to have a little bit more. It might need to be a little bit more in the forefront of your mind. I'm constantly thinking about ways to upgrade my stamina capacity, because that's something that you do increase as you play the game, but you can really increase it well if you're thinking about it as you play. So the hope, I wouldn't even worry about, honestly. You're not even going to notice that you're using it until you're pretty later in the game anyways with the magic. Okay, just to continue going back to basics here a little bit, let's take a look at our inventory. So obviously we have our equipped gear along the side here. This is our like average total gear score, and this is going to change based on what weapon we have equipped. So let's see, if I go out of my inventory screen and switch to my axe, which is my highest rated weapon right now, that increases my gear score up to 40. So some of the points of interest that you need to progress the main storyline are called, oh gosh, what are they called? The Sites of Power. So you start off the game needing to unlock the Antiquarian Site of Power, and your gear score is one of the ways that the game tracks whether you're ready to do that next Site of Power. So make sure you have your strongest weapon equipped when you're trying to enter that boss arena, because it's gonna look at your gear score to see if you're able to enter and do the boss fight. Speaking of that, we'll talk more about the Sites of Power later, because I want to go through and tell you guys basically how to progress through the game. Like, what is, other than just surviving and crafting and building your base, like what is the gameplay loop? We'll talk about that a little bit later, or maybe I'll separate that out into another video, but we'll just touch base on that in another time. Right now, we want to kind of go over the basics of the inventory here. So capacity, we can increase our pack to increase our carrying capacity, and then also our weight. So if you, let's see, let's go pick up some heavy stuff. Oops, almost hurt ourselves there. Here, let's pull some heavy stuff out of storage. Let's see, I got any rocks? We got any rocks we can carry? Oh yeah, 91 kilograms. Let's take these babies. Okay. I am now encumbered, and you can see I am over my carrying capacity of 140. Being encumbered, it's not a binary system of unencumbered or encumbered. You will get more encumbered the more weight you're carrying over your capacity. So right now I can still walk pretty fast, but it's going to take a second to get back there. I can't jump if I'm encumbered. I can still fight. I think I do lose stamina a little bit faster if I'm super encumbered. But let's pick up some more heavy stuff. Let's get really encumbered. Okay, we're like double our carrying capacity. And look at how slow we move. So, you know, you can kind of cheese it a little bit if you're a little over your carrying capacity, but you do get more encumbered the more weight you're carrying. So I personally try not to be encumbered at all, because I want to be able to jump and fight and move around quickly. Okay, the next thing I want to go over, a lot of this is pretty simple, but I just want to go over all of the dumb questions you might have when you load into this game. Let's talk about all of it. We've got our health max, our stamina, our hope, and this shows all of the stats that you might be interested in. Everything that you use to craft will have a unique effect on the thing that you're crafting. So when you're making your gear, look at, it's got the max health, the rain resistance, heat resistance, cold resistance. That is not tied to the fact that it's a simple capelet. It's tied to the fact that I used a tier 1 prey skin to make it. So the materials that you use to make a recipe affects the durability, the resistances, the special attributes of that piece of gear are tied to the materials you use to make it. So you want to save your better quality materials for your higher end recipes so that you can make the best piece of gear possible, or best piece of gear possible for you. So if you are someone that's going to be fighting a lot of like fiery enemies, you can build gear specifically for fire resistance, miasma resistance, which is like kind of like the magic resistance, poison. There's all these different things that you can do to craft like the perfect gear for the way you want to play, and that is based on the materials that you gather throughout the realms. Okay, back to our inventory here. You can see we have our backpack, we have our realm cards, which do not take up an inventory space at all. You can carry, as far as I've found in the 200 hours that I've played so far, you can carry an infinite amount of realm cards. I don't believe... Okay, I'm going to do an experiment here. I've never tried to give a realm card to another player. If I drop this... Oh, it does... Okay, good to know. So we could theoretically give cards to other players. I've actually never tried to do that before. And I assumed that realm cards were things that everyone had to make. But the fact that I can give that to another player is going to be huge. So we can carry and make an infinite amount, it seems like, an infinite amount of realm cards to carry on our person. And then the final tab that we want to look at here is our essences. So we have our common essence dust that we'll just pick up on our abeyance realm, and we will also be able to break down things that we aren't using and extract them into essence. As far as I've seen so far, you can only extract common essence dust. The real important ones that you're going to want to manage and hoard are the uncommon and the rare. And then I think even further, we get like a purple essence dust, the T3. Right now, I only have access to T1 and T2 because this is, again, a short playtest for me. But these are things that you acquire by completing the encounters that you find on a realm. So we're going to talk a little bit more about that later in the video where we talk about like how to play Nightingale, what's the gameplay loop. So we'll touch on those a little bit more, but common essence is what you use to repair your items. And then the T1 and the T2 essences you will use to enchant and upgrade your items. So see, this one is green. This head wrap is green because I upgraded it at an upgrade station with a green essence. So these you definitely want to kind of collect as many as you can and hoard them. You will sometimes find like a T1 essence will drop randomly when like you kill a creature or harvest a plant on a T1 realm, but your abeyance realm where you build your base is going to be pretty much common essence only. And I'm going to stop this video here. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching, and make sure to check out my next video in the series where we go into some of the other mechanics of Nightingale. And if you want to see more from me, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.